Hello, everyone. It's your boy, Xtreme and Awesome, and this is the first episode of the Xtreme and Awesome podcast. And well, first thing I like to talk about is Dominic Mysterio. Sure, some people say that he is one of the best heels in professional wrestling, but I think now is a perfect time for him to turn face. One of the reasons, because his heel gimmick is becoming a little stale, and it's time for him to turn face. And the perfect face run for him is for when him and Cody Rhodes repeat history of what Bret Hart and Lex Luger did in the 1994 Royal Rumble, and that become co-Royal Rumble winners. Repeating history would actually be a good for business. It'd be good for business. And that they have Dominic Mysterio pull a face turn. Let's say him and CM Punk have a singles match at the Royal Rumble, and CM Punk cuts a promo of Dominic not acting like a man, which would push Dominic to fight his own battles. And before Royal Rumble, he tells Rhea that he doesn't need her to win all his matches, is that he wants her to stay in the back and let him be his own man for once in a while, which starts to upset Mommy. And then let's say that Dominic puts up one cool match against CM Punk at Royal Rumble. And don't worry, of course, both men will be qualified for the Royal Rumble match, but they'll also have a singles match against each other as well. First things first. Yep. They face each other. And let's say that after the match, him and CM Punk offers a handshake to Dominic, and it's seemingly that Dom rejects it. He actually shakes hands. And, hear me out, the perfect face turn would be after the match when Dominic is given a interview and that says that he lost to CM Punk, and he says he's okay with it, and that he gives out a heartfelt speech, which the fans will start giving him a little bit of support. And then from out of nowhere, Rhea just clotheslines him on the back of his neck. Angry people, that would get a huge reaction. Rhea turning on Dominic. And she screams out, "You don't need me? You don't need me? I made you. I gave you the whole world. You were paying me? You don't need me." And then she walks out of the ring with lots of heat that Dom's been getting for a while. Now she gets that heat. And then Drew McIntyre comes out and the two leave together. And then Rey Mysterio comes out and then backstage, Rey Mysterio confronts Dominic after Rhea betrays him. And Rey tells him, I tried to warn you. And this is the consequences for your actions. Yeah. And he also says that he's always will be there for him. Oh yeah. And speaking of, let's also talk about Cody Rhodes. Cody has had the most terrific run so far. Finally winning a title since coming back, main eventing pay-per-views, winning the Royal Rumble, which of course he'll do again. Plus, we could even see Cody Rhodes Cody Rhodes to win the Royal Rumble. And the perfect setup for the second time in history WWE having two Royal Rumble winners would be having these alongside Cody Rhodes and Dominic, to have these four other men. Jey Uso, Seth Rollins, Seth Rollins, Jey Uso, Seth Rollins, Austin Theory, and LA Knight. Because I consider all six of those men as the six pillars of WWE. Reason? Because of LA Knight's gimmick, his character, and his traits. Dominic's height flight ability, his skills. Cody's charisma, of course. Jey Uso's charisma and potential. Austin Theory. He's cool and he has a lot of potential too, despite him not being everyone's favorite. But he is the most talented wrestler I've seen so far. And Seth Rollins, the king of WWE, I feel he has more potential than any other wrestler I've seen so far. And that he is a true megastar. He is a huge star in professional wrestling. Seth Rollins is basically this generation's Chris Jericho, because the fans sing both to their entrance music. Seth Rollins is basically this generation's Lionheart. Yep, and that's why those 6 men are the 6 pillars. And I can see as they elimination, Dominic and Cody both going over the top rope. And fans would I know it'd be a perfect setup because fans would get confused. They'll be saying, wait, both Cody and... I don't get it. Who's the winner? Cody or Dominic? I mean, of course, Cody has been pushed for this, for another chance at Royal. I mean, sure, Dominic has improved, but he's not at this level yet. Yeah, I get it. You're going to say that. But then we can see Triple H coming out to announce that both Cody Rhodes and Dominic Mysterio have both, that they have both, are the winners, which fans will still get confused. Well, how is this going to work? I mean, with Damian finally cashing in the Money in the Bank, blah, blah, blah. Well, by that time, Dom would be already kicked out of Judgment Day at Royal Rumble. So that after they were both announced as Royal Rumble winners, the two would shake hands as they both accept their right. And they can have a discussion. And speaking of that, I was thinking, since the Undisputed Championship still has the lineage of the WWE title and the Universal title, my best thinking is just WWE to simply have 3 world champions. I know it doesn't make sense, but they might as well just have it. Let's see, 2 on Raw. No. 2 on SmackDown and 1 on Raw. So when Cody Rhodes takes the WWE title from Roman, that should be the title for Raw. And that the Universal title and the World Heavyweight Championship can be the 2 main world champions on SmackDown. So, and the way they would talk business is that Triple H would go on Twitter and ask Roman Reigns to bring in all 3 of his titles. That gold nugget version he's currently holding, and the blue strapped Universal title, and of course the WWE title, where they have a segment of Cody wrestling at Part 1 against Roman in the main event for the WWE title, and that Dominic will fight Roman for the Universal title at WrestleMania Part 2. And speaking of him, Dominic, I think the best thing, Dominic could even say before he'll challenge Roman, he'll want to finish his possible new feud with Rhea Ripley. And this would be the perfect setup. And then Dominic announcing that he's now a part of SmackDown and joined the LWO. Speaking of LWO, I think it's time for Dominic to join the group. not only him, but Roxanne Perez as well. I mean, I've seen her in NXT. She is talented. And she still is a babyface. Despite NXT giving her an edged character. See, that's what we need nowadays. Baby faces with edged characters. That way, fans will respect them while you can be like, more like an edged killer instinct, while still connect with the fans. I mean, stuff like that is rare, but Roxanne is living proof that it does work. And Roxanne is one of the most talented women wrestlers I've seen so far. And I can see Zelina Vega winning the WWE Women's title. And since Roxanne Perez might join LWO, we can also see them being tag team partners and opponents at WrestleMania. Both as opponents and tag team partners. Saying that they get like women's tag team title shots while facing each other for the women's championship. And we'll also have think of this. Have Aaliyah make her wrestling debut against Aaliyah Mysterio makes her in-ring debut against Rhea Ripley, who I believe should dethrone Rhea Ripley at the Royal Rumble should be Tegan Knox, but that's a different story for another time. So by then, Rhea will lose her title. And during her hometown match against Dominic, she loses. How? Let's say Buddy Murphy makes his return, seemingly joining Judgment Day, but sides with Dominic, and a setup for Aaliyah to attack and get her revenge on Rhea Ripley for pushing her in the face during Rey Mysterio's 20th anniversary in 2022. And Buddy Murphy joining the LWO. And the perfect way for Buddy Murphy to make his return is for him to have a match against Solo Sikoa at WrestleMania, Part 1. So, and Cody Rhodes as the WWE Championship could finally end the story. Once he finishes that story, he will be the high-paid wrestler of WWE. And speaking of that, the top 3 high-paid wrestlers of WWE should be Dominic, Cody Rhodes, and Seth Rollins. Also, the other 4 of the 6 pillars should get salaries too. Here, Austin Theory's current salary is $200,000 a year. he should get $450,000 a year. LA Knight's current salary is $500,000 a year. His new salary should be 1.5. And Jey Uso, his salary is currently $250,000 a year. Why don't we up that up to $2.5 million a year? Because honestly, he deserves it, because he's competed more wrestling match than his cousin Roman Reigns, the tribal chief, ever has so far. And he's been a major top player. And now for the other for the other three, Dominic, Cody, and Seth Rollins should have a new salary of $1.5 million a month, which equals to $18 million a year, and that he should get his first year's check of $18 million up front, tax-free. And Cody Rhodes should get a salary of $2.5 million a month, which is $30 million a year, and should also get his first year's check of $30 million up front. And Dominic should have the biggest salary in professional wrestling of $3 million a month, which is $36 million a year, and he should get the first year's check of $36 million up front, tax-free. And you seemingly that since the new multi-billion-dollar deal, now that WWE and UFC merge, I believe the company can afford it now. How talented these wrestlers are, not just because of the money, but how good these guys are. I mean, think about it. I believe Dominic could be the top babyface of WWE. And Logan Paul, I believe he would also be a good fit in the LWO. He could did what Sami Zayn did. Like when Sami Zayn was the Honorary Uce in the Bloodline, Logan Paul can try to be like the Honorary Amigo. A little similar to the Honorary Uce, but a little different. And I can, because we all know Rey Mysterio and Santos Escobar are going to fight in a mask versus hair match. And it says that Alberto Del Rio will be returning so that he could be in Santos' corner, and that Logan Paul could be in Rey Mysterio's corner and could help Rey win the match. And we could see a really funny scene after that of Santos almost getting his hair shaved. And speaking of Buddy Murphy, I believe that the storyline between him and Aaliyah Mysterio should have been done right. If Triple H had set it up right his way, it would have been a good storyline. I mean, him and And Dominic would have been tag team partners by now. But Vince is the one who screwed it up. And because Buddy Murphy shouldn't join the Judgment Day, because now when it was at Judgment Day we're at its peak, yes, but now it's not anymore. With all the thing, I know everyone feels that if they brought back that storyline and have him join LWO, people won't take him seriously. It'll make him look like a joke. And besides, he'll just be Dominic's lapdog second behind him. You're actually not wrong, because Buddy Murphy actually has some demands, is that they need to allow him to compete at other wrestling companies, minus AEW, which means WWE would have to allow him to have a schedule working in New Japan, in the United Kingdom, Europe, anywhere else, only excluded from AEW. The only place. Yeah, and he deserves a salary of $2 million, because Buddy Murphy has that full of potential, more than any other wrestler I've seen. And believe me when I say it, they deserve it. And Dominic, yeah, and Cody, and Roxanne, I believe she could even start an on-screen love triangle with Dominic once Dominic turns face again. Think about it. With her edge gimmick and, of course, Dom's bad boy attitude, they would be the perfect pair. And it would be best for business. And I think they could connect with the fans. Sure, maybe in a little point, Aaliyah and Buddy would feel like second to it. But being second can actually be a good thing, because it can help them motivate themselves of being top dogs, top couples themselves. But then when they have them team with the possible Dom Rocks together, then both Roxanne Perez and Dominic and Buddy Murphy and Leah Mysterio could actually have them both as the top on-screen couples of WWE. So that way there's no family rivalry to avoid it. And, Aaliyah, since she is Rey Mysterio's daughter, they should give her a salary of $1.8 million a year. And if I were to work in WWE, personally, I would want to work on screen as the spokesperson for the LWO, be in charge of their storylines, and own 25% of their of the merchandise sales, the royalties, bonuses, everything. And most importantly, I would even want to make sure that the Mysterio family themselves are good as well. Trust me, in WWE, headquarters, TKO, if you're listening, I actually would like to volunteer to join the creatives team. And I'll even help out the LWO members as well by helping their scripts and helping those guys out too. So in my predictions, Dominic Mysterio, Cody Rhodes is the WWE champion, LA Knight is the World Heavyweight champion, and Dominic Mysterio is the Universal Championship. So then after Dom holds both belts of the blue version and the gold nugget version, WWE retires the blue version and permanently keeps the gold nugget version for Dom. Yeah, for the LWO, Dom's the Universal title. Wild and Del Toro will be the SmackDown Tag Team Champions. Roxanne will be the WWE Women's Champion. She'll also be, and she and Zelina Vega and Aaliyah Mysterio will be the Women's Tag Team Champions under, of course, the legendary Freebird rule. And Dragon Lee will be the United States Champion. And Carlito with the Andre the Giant Memorial Trophy. Carlito. That's why LWO deserves a push. But I think once after WrestleMania, a following month, in 1 week, I believe the LWO merchandise and all its sales will make $8 billion. Yeah, there'll be a good profit. And that's what I'm thinking of. Yeah. And yeah, I know this sounds like a immediate handout, but it's more like this, a handout while working hard to earn more. So my asking price to work with the WWE is $250 million for a 1-year deal. How would I like that paid out? $20 million every month, and for the final month in WWE, $30 million upfront, plus plane tickets, cause you know that air, that good old air, and of course want to ride first class, so I can have that good steak. But anyway, I even want to make sure that my possible stablemates stay cool too. And Dominic, I can see him pin. We all know, of course, they'll definitely have Cody beat Roman 1, 2, 3. And he'll take the WWE title. But Dominic versus Roman Reigns would be the match of the year. That people would be like, yeah, sure, yeah, I can accept. Now we can kind of accept WWE having 3 world champions, but I doubt that Dom will be a champion. Yeah, people be saying that, but maybe WrestleMania Part 2 would give everyone their mouth drops when Dom pins Roman Reigns. It'd be the best moment of 2024. Dominic would actually be a good babyface. He would just have to practice so that it doesn't become a disaster. So that's where I come in. And with a possible $250 million deal, I can help him. You know, I can make sure he does it right. He doesn't screw up. It actually follows in the fans' direction because, of course, their opinions matter. And that their voices need to be heard too. So I would help the WWE by making Dominic the top star. And I can see Dominic have a lot of feuds within the WWE against names like Braun Breaker, Santos Escobar. Let's see, Gunther. A tiny feud, like a 1 week feud against AJ Styles. Let's see some other names. Jinder Mahal. Ricochet. Wesley. Randy Orton, probably for a week. What's his name? Oh yeah, Trick Williams, probably a match. Not Trick Williams, I mean Carmelo Hayes. But here's what I also want to talk about. WWE should start a record label called EFL, Entertainment for Life. And I hear Dominic is secretly a good rapper. That's why he would be the main star of the company, of the label. Separate from recording studios to make wrestlers' theme entrance, EFL would be the record label of WWE for like wrestlers to have like a little side gig to help their careers. Like if they're like knows how to rap or sing, it could like have the sidekick just when their wrestling careers are going low. Maybe the music industry could actually give them confidence. And I believe the top artists could be like Dominic, Roxanne, who I've heard has an amazing singing voice, and Indy Hartwell, who's also, I hear, has a great singing voice. And of course, we all know Montez Ford can sing like Usher, but we also know, and Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams could be great rappers as well. So, EFL, Entertainment for Life, people will be chanting EFL. But I also believe that EFL could make $3.5 billion a year if it does good. So, if WWE is going to make a change, EFL is going to be the one that give it that change. I've been a fan since 2011 for a very long time. And a lot has changed. So, if I were to work for the company, I would make it better. Well, I've said a lot, and I enjoyed this time speaking on this podcast. It was pretty good. And tomorrow, I'm going to talk about Tegan Knox possibly winning the Women's World Champion from Rhea Ripley at Royal Rumble 2024. But until then, stay breezy.